What is happening, people? Liverpool Prophet back again with another video. More Liverpool related news to talk about as per usual. Transfer news, you know how it is. We want to talk more about transfers. Incomings, ideally. Obviously, there are going to be outgoings like we know, but I want to focus on Liverpool's incomings. Who can we get in next? That is what I want to focus on. Now, also today, the Premier League fixtures for the 2025-26 season have dropped, so we know who we will be playing as well as who our rivals are going to be playing. So, without further ado, guys, let's get straight into the news because there's quite a bit to talk about. I wanted to spend some decent time on each subject, so I wanted to start off with transfers. Now, obviously, with the incomings, like I said, we can expect a different Liverpool team next season with the incomings and the outgoings. Like I said, Slot is now building his own Liverpool team. Most of Klopp's team that we had are being sold, except for the core players like Salah, Van Dijk, Alisson. Other than that, you're looking at a pretty new team next season, and I think along with having a new team, we're also going to be more flexible. With our formations now. That is a good thing. I think maybe at times, not this season, maybe under Klopp, we were a bit too rigid. I only ever really knew us playing the 4-3-3. So to have now us playing multiple formations, I think is a very, very, very good tool to have. It makes us a lot more flexible tactically and a lot more suit. I am really looking forward to what type of formations we can play, because I think by the looks of it, with the players coming in, we can play about 3 or 4 different formations, which I am looking forward to a lot, to be fair. A lot. I think we've lacked that, the unpredictability is the word I'm looking for. We've lacked the unpredictability, I think. In the early days in the club, 18, 19, 19, 20, we were very unpredictable. You didn't know what we were going to do. I think after that, we sort of lost that unpredictability. We became very bland, I'd say. Dare I say it? Very rigid, very repetitive in our way of play, and teams sussed us out. A lot of teams sussed us out over the years, and I think now we need that unpredictability back. We need that unpredictable Liverpool team back. The team that you don't know what formation they're going to play. You don't know what style they're going to approach the game with. You don't know what they're going to do. That is what we need back, in my opinion. So I hope and I think we will see that next season. Now, as for what type of formations we could play, to me, 2 formations stick out for me personally that I think we should go with next season, or we should swap and interchange with. I think the 4-3-3 formation, of course, the classic 4-3-3, that is something that we've played over the years. I don't think we should stop playing that. I think we should definitely still play it, but I think we should use it a lot less next season than we use it this season and maybe in years gone by. For me, I want to see us use the 4-2-3, and I want to see the 4-2-3-1 a lot more. I think that is going to be our main formation next season. 4-2-3-1. The defense, the 2 holding midfielders, the 3 attacking, and the 1 striker. That is the formation I think we are going to go with, and that is the formation I would personally want us to go with. I think the players that we're going to have coming in would be very well suited to that 4-2-3-1 formation. You have Wirtz in the 10, you have Gravenberch and McAllister, or Gravenberch and Szoboszlai as the double pivot in midfield. Wingers, Salah, Diaz, or Salah, Gakpo, whoever. Up top you have the striker. I think this is the perfect formation for us going into next season. This is the one I would be using a lot of. And of course we can still do the 4-3-3. The only thing I would say with the 4-3-3 is maybe I don't see, me personally, how Wirtz could fit into a 4-3-3. I think you play Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, McAllister in the middle. Unless you play Wirtz as the fake 9 in a 4-3-3. I don't really see how Wirtz would fit into a 4-3-3 formation, in my opinion. I think to play the 4-2-3-1 is much better for Wirtz. Obviously, Kirkes, Frimpong, it's not going to make a difference because they're playing on the flanks either way. Also, I see we could potentially do a 3-4-3. Now, that's a formation that I'm not too keen on personally. I don't really want to see a 3-4-3. I think that's a bit too much of a change. I think we're used to 4-3-3 and 4-2-3-1. So 3-4-3 would be a huge change. You're looking at 3 centre backs, you're looking at 4 in midfield and 3 up top. So that's going to be a huge change, and that's not something I want us to go with. That is the whole reason we brought Slot in instead of Xabi Alonso or someone else. I think had Xabi Alonso become the Klopp replacement, you would have seen a completely different style of football, and you would have seen a completely different formation change as well. And after losing Klopp, that would have been a huge change for us and the players. It would have been too much of a change. Going from a 4-3-3 every week to a 3-4-3 and a different tactics as well, of course. Under Slot, of course, the tactics and the formations aren't too different to Klopp. He still plays 4-3-3 at times. He can do a 4-2-3-1 every now and then as well. So I think that's the main reason Slot was appointed as manager. We wanted someone who was similar to Klopp formation-wise, style of football-wise. And I think Alonso, he probably would have been a bit too different looking on it now. I would not have done it. I think everyone wanted Alonso at the time, but looking back on it, formation changes and all that, I think Slott's a much better fit. So I would be looking at the 4-2-3-1 personally. That would be my go-to formation, and obviously we can switch it up. We don't always have to do 4-2-3-1 next season. We can do a 4-3-3 if we need to. So we can switch it up, and I want to see unpredictability with us. I want to see variations of style of plays. I don't want to see us playing the same old football week in, week out, because if that happens, it's only going to take a couple of weeks, a couple of months for teams to suss us out and know how to set up against us. So we need to be unpredictable. Teams need to not know what we're going to do. They need to be thinking, what on earth are Liverpool going to play? How are they going to play? That's what I want to see personally from us. You play the same way week in, week out, you're going to get sussed out. Teams are going to instantly figure out how to play against you. That's what's happened with Man City this year. Along with losing Rodri, they've been sussed out. Teams now know how to set up against City, which is why I think Pep Guardiola is probably going to evolve his tactics next summer. So, yeah, unpredictability is key. Now, moving on from that, I wanted to touch on the Premier League fixtures. Now, the fixtures for next season have dropped. They are finally here. And Lord and behold, the video I put out on TikTok, they were fake. So, our opening games of next season are Bournemouth at home, Newcastle away, Arsenal at home, and Burnley away, and Everton away. Those are our first 5 games. Now, on paper, that's a pretty difficult start. I'm going to be totally honest. Bournemouth at home opening day, I'd expect to win there. I'll take a point right now at St James's Park, Newcastle away. I'll take a draw there, right, I'm telling you. Arsenal at home, that's an unpredictable one because we have no idea what type of business Arsenal are going to do in the window. I think once they've done their business, we can look at that fixture a bit more and then delve deeper into it. Burnley away, 3 points. I'm expecting 3 points there. And Everton at home, Merseyside derby. The Bitters are back in town. I'd expect a win there because it's at home. But again, I can see a very, very difficult game there. So it's not the worst, but it's also not the easiest. So we've got, I'd say, 3 difficult games. Newcastle away, Arsenal away, and Everton at home. Newcastle away, by far the toughest one in my opinion. Arsenal at Anfield, I think we can deal with them there if we can. And I think Everton at Anfield we can deal with. So it's not the easiest fixtures, but then also not the hardest. So I would expect, if I'm being honest, I'd expect, if I'm sitting here right now, the business we've done, I would expect 3, 6, 9. I'd expect 11 points from the opening 3 games, 4, 5 games. I'd expect 11 points. I'll take a draw at St James's Park, Newcastle away. But other than that, I'd expect wins in the rest of the games. And look, on a separate topic, I mean, you think our run is bad. We have to look at Arsenal's run because, oh my life, what a hard start to the season they have. Manchester United on opening day. And then in week 3, they come to Anfield. So they come to United, they go to United, and they go to Liverpool in the opening 3 games. Now, if they don't sort their business out, I'm looking at this as a rival. They are in for a real rude awakening. They have got to start signing some players because that is a hard start. Say what you want about United being crap. Arsenal don't usually go to Old Trafford and win. They don't come to Anfield and win ever, really. So they're going to need to sign some players because that is a difficult run. They've got City as well at home coming up after that soon. They've got Chelsea away, so they have definitely got the hardest run on paper. So listen, guys, they've got the hardest run, so that'll be the excuse. If they don't win the league, it'll be we had a hard run at the start of the season. That's why we couldn't do it. Liverpool had an easy one. The excuses are pre-planned from these Arsenal fans. You just know that they pre-planned these excuses. So if they don't win the league, it's because we played Liverpool and United away in the first 3 games. That was too hard on us. They've got their excuses pre-planned, so there we go. That'll be their excuse. But yeah, fixture list dropped. Very interesting stuff. But I am going to head out, guys. Peace out. I will be back very soon with another video transfer related. So make sure to stay tuned. Remember, like, subscribe, comment. I will speak to you guys soon. Liverpool profit. Peace out. Up the Reds. Let's go.